Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darius. Today is the 27th of September 2018. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday's morning session where we're going to have a look at a few instruments I believe are quite important. But as always, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so let's jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on is the DAX. Now, the DAX here is a very interesting wave that we had here of buying, and certainly, as you can see, we're now back inside this above this upside support line that has been running here since around the 26th of March. So we were for quite a while for a while in September we've been trading below that, but you can see now we kind of got back above it, and currently looking at this daily chart, the index is kind of resting slightly just above the 50 EMA. Of course, for now, this is the we're not going to say that we're going to go in here and aim for higher levels. In order for us to start examining those higher levels, we would need to see a good break and a close above this level right here at around 12,460. So this is a potential level to watch here, guys, because if we would get a nice close above this, then yep, this could potentially open the path, initially opening the path towards this level right here. Let me just quickly highlight it, and that's around the 12,585 marked here near the highs of the 28th of August. And if that doesn't hold, well, I mean, we could continue traveling higher here all the way maybe towards this downside resistance line taken from the peak of the 23rd of January. So quite a good area to watch and a potential area of resistance, of course. Certainly on the way here, it could meet the next good level here of resistance around the 12,700, and then, as I said, well, slightly above that, we do have this downside resistance line running from the 23rd of January. Do apologize. So for now, again, let's not rush into this yet. Let's wait for a good confirmation. Certainly at this point, it continues to look more bullish than bearish. But again, like I said, let's wait for a good confirmation, break and a close before we start looking at higher levels. Because at the same time, to be honest, we could see maybe a bit of a reversal here back down. If we get a break below the 12,325 mark, then, well, we could see a possible test of this upside support line that I was just talking about. So we could then see something like this happening, basically, where the upside support line could act as a nice bouncing ground. But again, for now, of course, let's not over speculate too much on this one, and let's see what it wants to do. So in a way, for the upside, we need to see a good close above the 12,460, and for the downside, we're going to be looking at the 12,325 area, approximately there, of course, so that we could potentially aim for slightly lower here. Of course, it's not going to be a huge drop unless, of course, it starts breaking this upside support line here. But again, this upside support line could stall the price for a little bit longer, and until kind of the bulls and the bears figure out who's going to take control from there. So for now, keep your eyes on that one. Let's see how it plays out with this little range that the index is stuck in at the moment. Let's jump into silver, and silver is at a very nice and tricky spot, continues to be there, to be honest, as you can see, for quite a while now. For the most of this week, it's struggling to overcome this this downside trend line here taken from the 25th of June. So at the moment, of course, all eyes are on this. We can see that it continues to balance around the 14.315 and the 14.380 levels. So around there, basically, it continues to trade. And for now, certainly we're going to keep a close eye on it, because if we suddenly get that break and close above this downside trend line, then yep, we could start aiming for higher levels, like the 15, the round well, the 15 level. This could be a potential good area of resistance, and if that doesn't hold, well, it could continue traveling further here. The next good potential area of resistance could be seen around the 15.75 zone, and to be honest, at the same time, it would probably or should I say, by the time if it would travel all the way here, it would coincide, this level here would coincide with this 200 EMA, which also could add a bit of more significance to this level. So keep your eyes on this for now. Of course, if this downwards moving trend line continues to hold and we see a slide lower here, now again, we're still going to be very careful, because for us to, let's say, start looking at even lower levels in the near term, we would need to see a nice good close here below the 13.985 mark, approximately there, so that we could then position ourselves for a possible move towards the 13.645 area. Now the 13.645, just to kind of remind you guys, now this was the very strong area of support here of 2015. So it was the lowest point of 2015, or should I say near the lowest point of the 2015. So keep your eyes on that one, of course, but again, we'll only consider that level if we get a nice close below this 13.985 mark. Okay, let's jump into a few pairs now, and the first one I want to touch on quickly is the Aussie dollar. So this one also is struggling with its downside resistance line here, taken from the 26th of January. So at the moment, we're just going to keep a close eye on it, because as you can see, when I was covering this this pair yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, and I was talking about this level here and these 0.7235. Now you can see that we're kind of currently trying to break this, and we're currently, yes, we're breaking it, but again, we'll have to see how the day is going to close, because if we're going to see a close here below that, then yep, we could potentially move towards lower levels like 0.7140 mark here by the low of the 17th of September, or even this 0.7085, which was the lowest point of September. So for now, of course, all eyes are on this initially, the 0.7235, because if it continues to hold, now this is where it could become more interesting for the bulls, of course. I mean, certainly not saying that it could move higher straight away. For that, we would need to see initially a good close above the this downside resistance line, and then of course a close above this little level right here. Just let me quickly highlight that for you guys. So the 0.7290 approximately there could be also a good confirmation. If we do get a nice break above that level, this could be a nice confirmation for a possible move higher. Now on the upside here, we could aim for the 0.7360 or even 80, or even actually going into the 0.7485 zone. So this was marked here by the highs that we saw around the 9th of July. And also, if let's say this pair could travel all the way here, and so again, by the time it could potentially reach that level, this level would coincide with this 200 EMA, which also, like I said, would add, as mentioned on the previous instrument, which also could add a bit of more significance to this level, so 0.7485. So this is something to watch out for in a slightly more maybe like longer term, but then for that we would need to see a good close not only above the downside resistance line, but also close above the 0.7290 mark. But at the moment, as you can see, there's some weakness kicking in, so let's see how this day develops and where we're going to close. Euro dollar, now this one's getting a hit today, and I was talking about this one yesterday, and let's jump into a 4-hour chart on this one. So as I was talking about this this short-term upside support line that has been running since around the 10th of September, and we've broken it nicely to the downside. So for now, of course, you can see that it found its support here near the 117 level. This is where probably it's going to continue just bouncing around right now, and if that, well, if actually doesn't hold anymore and we see a close here on the 4-hour chart, we could see further declines, maybe even towards this 116.60 mark, which was also seen here as a nice area of resistance. Of course, this is the approximate level. Maybe it could drop a little bit lower. Maybe these 116.50 could play out as well. Nevertheless, keep your eyes on that area. This is the first level to watch, the 116.60. After, of course, if we get a break below the 117. Now, also, we've got not far from there, from the 116.60, we do have the excuse me, the 200 EMA as well, so also could add more significance to this levels here. So again, for now, judging by this picture, I would probably recommend to be very careful. It's early still in the morning, and we're already having this this sell-off here, about 45 pips sell-off, so be very careful. We might maybe get some sort of surprise or something where the pair could reverse back to the upside here. But again, for us to get comfortable with the upside, we would need to see a good break and a close above this this upside support line. And even, let's say, if we would want to consider higher levels in the long run, in the longer run, we would need to see a good close here above this 117.90 level. Now this is where it could open the path towards these higher levels like 118.40 and above, of course. But for now, judging by how everything is developing, keep your eyes on the 117. If we do get a break here, we could end up testing the 116.60 level today, which this is where the rate could stall for a little bit initially. So, and the last pair that I wanted to touch on, and that's USDJPY. So USDJPY here, similar stories like with the euro, but so everybody's jumping into the yen right now, and we can see that we are breaking this this short-term upside support line taken here from the 7th of September. Of course, the big question here is are we actually going to continue falling lower here, or is this just a temporary, let's say maybe even a false breakout or something like that? So for now, again, be very careful. We're going to stay a bit more to the neutral side on this one, because we're just going to keep an eye on these key support and resistance levels. So on the downside, we're going to keep a close eye on this 112.45 zone. I understand it's quite it's about 20 pips away from where the pair is trading right now, but to be honest, it's better to be safe than sorry. So we're going to keep a close eye on this one, because if we do get a nice close and break in a close below this 112.45 level, then yep, I mean, this could potentially confirm a further decline towards the 112.15 or even the 112 level, so approximately there, of course. So keep your eyes on that one, guys. Again, let's not rush into this, and just be very careful, because like I said, we could see some volatility kicking in, and we could see maybe some surprises coming in. But on the upside, for us to get maybe start looking at the higher levels, we would need to see not only a move back above this upside support line, but also a nice close above the 113 level. Now this could open the path towards higher levels like 113.15, or even higher, going here towards the 113.75. Now the 113.75 acted as a very nice area of resistance here around the December time last year. So something to keep an eye on, of course, but that's for the upside here, and if we see a close above the 113 level. For now, from the very short-term perspective, certainly we're gonna stay a little bit more neutral, or maybe even more to the slightly bearish, somewhat bearish, I would say. But again, for us to confirm a further declines, we would need to see a good close below the 112.45 level. Okay, guys, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and if you want to join me later on today at my Traders Tea Time, and that's 13:15 GMT, 14:15 British Summer Time. But for now, Thank you very much and have a good day. Bye bye.